Hello everyone, welcome to this webinar on 5 quick Facebook tips that will help to save you time and make you more productive. Some of you may know me already. I'm Denise Davies. I just want to thank you for attending the webinar today, and I know that some of you will be coming on later to get the recording because it wasn't fitting with your schedule. That's actually one of the big advantages of a webinar, is the fact that it's easy to schedule it at a time that might not be useful to everyone, but you will be able to see the replay later on. Some of you know me already, but for those of you that don't, and because I'm just putting together my webinar strategy, I want to give a little introduction about who I am. You can see me up there on the webcam. I always wanted to be a teacher when I was growing up, and I did graduate from St. X in 1969 with a Bachelor of Science in Education, and then taught for a couple of years in Barbados with CUSO. I taught science and math, and then after that I really found out that I enjoyed very much teaching adults. I lived overseas, and I worked overseas for over 40 years after that, and then along the way I became a librarian. I taught library science in Papua New Guinea without being a trained librarian. Then went on to University of Hawaii and got my library degree there, and that was my first introduction to computers in 1983. I had one of the first portable computers, which was like the size of a sewing machine. From then, we went on to Indonesia, and I worked as a business systems analyst in one of the large international schools in Jakarta. And from there, went on to Pakistan, where I worked as a head librarian in another international school. And then the internet arrived. In 1994, I started exploring the internet along with a good friend, Sarah Mushtaq, and we discovered there was nothing on the internet about Pakistan at all, except for one page by the CIA. We spent a lot of time putting content websites up on the web about Pakistan. It was great fun. And after a visit to Comdex in Las Vegas, I decided, oh, okay, the internet is for me, and I'm going to give up my career in high schools and go on to working in the business world of the internet, which was great fun. And I've done that ever since. I've worked with a lot of nonprofits, a lot of small businesses and entrepreneurs to help them get on the web or to understand how to use the internet to build their business or to work with their nonprofit. I moved back to Canada in 2010, and at that point I've been doing a lot of training, teaching at Coady International Institute, running local seminars in town, and training people on a one-to-one basis. And now I'm exploring using webinars and online training as a way to reach out to more people and use my time effectively, and to create information tutorials. So without going on any more about that, we'll get into the session, the reason why you signed up to come today. And we'll be looking today at just to give a little bit of an overview of what are some opportunities of social media, and what are some of the challenges that we find in social media. And we'll be specifically looking at a few 5 tips about how to use Facebook more effectively, and how to really conserve your time and make your time effective using this great tool. And at the end, I'll be telling you about notes that I'll be sending you, and if you have any questions and answers, we'll go ahead and discuss those. I'm going to turn off my webcam, so just wanted you to see who I was. And we'll go ahead and let's see. I'm just getting used to some of the tools on here. So I'm stopping my webcam and we'll focus on the presentation for today. We have, you know, the social media gives us a lot of opportunities. You are hearing about it in the media very often. We get to engage with audiences. You know, audiences may be clients, they may be prospective clients, they may be people who volunteer for your organization. They may be particular target groups that we have. But in any case, those are the audiences. And social media gives us a very broad reach, but a way of targeting that reach. And we'll look at some of those methods later on. It's also very cost-effective using some of the social media tools. And we'll talk about a little bit about what the challenge is as far as these methods being so-called free. And we also can track and analyze the results of our progress on the internet, which makes it a very useful platform for figuring out what are some of the best marketing approaches that we can take. Social media also helps to build our list of contacts. It helps us to tune our messages. In other words, we can test things out and find out how we can improve our methods. And we have multiple methods of building interest and reaching people with the topics that they're interested in. We're not going to be discussing all of these in any depth today, but they will be topics that I'll be including in future webinars. There are also many challenges of using social media. It does take time, and time is really a cost. So when we talk about free, we need to be aware that free doesn't mean that it's totally free from your perspective. You need to budget your time. Also, to use social media effectively, we need a plan or a strategy. How can we use this most effectively? What are our goals and objectives, and how can we know that we're actually succeeding and improving with our strategy? A third challenge is the fact that tools and technologies are always changing. For example, today we'll be looking at some of the Facebook tools that we can use, and some of these didn't even exist 2 or 3 months ago. And Facebook doesn't always announce, oh, I've put in this new change. You kind of just have to notice that it's there. So that's one of the things that we'll be looking at today, is some of the new and easy-to-use technologies we can use on Facebook. We need to decide which social media to use. We hear about all kinds of different ones, and we want to choose the ones that are most effective to our audience and to our goals. We need to find out what's the best option. It's not always the same for everyone. If you're in the tourism business, it may be one set of tools that would be most effective. If you're a nonprofit, it might be something else. So each organization or business needs to decide and learn what's available and what would be the most effective. List building, in other words, building up the list of your contacts, is an important activity, and social media can help us to do this, but how can it help us? How do we actually get more people to interact with us on social media? How do we get more people to actually follow whatever your calls to action are? And then many people have concerns, and rightly so, about privacy and censorship, and how you can manage the content on your social media, and how can you manage the content on your on your website, which is part of your internet web. So first of all, we're going to talk about Facebook. Just a little bit of background on Facebook. If we look at the users of Facebook, it has really gone up over each year. It expands more and more. So right now it has more than 1 billion users scattered all over the globe, and 50% of those people log in to Facebook every day. This is a huge number. People logging in and actually spending time on the webs on Facebook, and on average, people are spending more than 20 minutes a day using Facebook. Also, geographically, the whole world is actually using Facebook. 80% of the users are actually outside of the United States, and it expands all ages and professions and interests. So it's not something that has a narrow focus at all. It's very broad and it's huge. But you think, okay, well, how does that help me? I'm not interested in talking to 1 billion people, and I wouldn't be able to manage anything like that. But what we want to find out is that Facebook does have this very broad reach, and that's shown in this blue circle here, blue oval. But it's possible to target and talk to and interact with a narrow focus of people. So the narrow focus would be the people that you're interested in talking to, the people that you have information that would be useful to them, or people that would be interested in your cause, or interested in your shopping, or interested in your tourist destination. I'm going to send you a couple of questionnaire polls after the event, after the webinar, and I'd want you to figure out how you best fit into this. But just for now, I'm going to send a quick poll and just answer this question here. I get it up on the screen. So the poll question is, do you have a Facebook page? Now, a Facebook page is different from your personal profile. So if you could just click the yes or no, that will give us some results in our poll. I see we have a couple of people here. Welcome Susan, and welcome Nadine. And we may be expecting others, but some people have said that they will be listening to the replay rather than they were able to come during the afternoon. So for those of you that are attending, on the right-hand side, there is a little red arrow on the top right-hand side. If you click on that, it expands out a little window, and you should be able to see a chat window in there. You could either type your answer in chat, or you could type it in the poll. And I'm just going to go back to the webinar now. And we're going to now talk about the 5 tips for using Facebook in a more effective manner. So the first tip is about notifications. Now, the reason why I'm including this is because many people have told me that, oh, not a lot of people are seeing my posts, or I don't see posts from everyone. Now, the thing is that Facebook doesn't show all of your posts to everyone. They figure out, they have a very complex algorithm for figuring out what they're going to show. But one way that you can see more information from your friends is I'm on Susan Walsh's Facebook profile, her personal profile, and we're friends. And you can see when I click on this little arrow right next to where I said that we would be friends, there's a choice there for Get Notifications. And Get Notifications will send me a little notification every time Susan puts a post on her Facebook profile. And the post is the same thing as where it says write something here. Or if we look at another example, if we look at an example on a Facebook page, this is one that I'm an administrator of. This is out and about Nova Scotia. It's the same thing. When you like a Facebook page, you can click just below it. If you do the down arrow, you can click Get Notifications. Now, both of those methods will send you little messages. And if we look up here in your top of your browser window, you'll see a little globe up here, and it may have a number next to it or may not, but if you click on that, you'll see a list of the posts from people that I have said that I get notifications. So when the Tatamagouche Center posted this information about the Community Sector Council, immediately I got a notification, and I also get a copy of that notification in my email. So the other place to do that setting, if you go to your personal page, so you would click on your name, and up on the top right-hand corner there's a little arrow that's kind of hard to see. It's kind of a dark blue on blue, but if you click on that and you go down to Settings, and then you click on, you get a choice of different kinds of settings that you can do here. You might want to go through those at some point, but if you click on Notifications, it tells you here with email, it's sending me most notifications. So I don't get absolutely every notification by email, but I get most. And if I wanted to change that, I could click on the Edit button, and I have a choice there if I do want to receive emails or I don't want to receive emails. So I've set it as all notifications except the ones that I unsubscribe from. So I'm going to close that. So that's tip number one. Now, if you didn't get all of that while we're going through it, it might be kind of fast. I will be sending out the recording, and you'll be able to see, to go over it again and see how you can do that setting on your own place. So this was the tip number one on notifications. So you want to get notifications from, not from everybody that you're online with, but at least some people that you think are important to receive their notifications, and also to get notifications from any web pages, any Facebook pages that you're interested in. The second point that we're going to go over right now is sharing. I like to say that, sharing and commenting is what puts the social into social media. Because until we share things, it doesn't go very far on the internet. So a few people might see a post, but you'll notice that if someone on your friends list shares that, it will increase the number of people who actually see it. It's part of the algorithm that Facebook uses to decide that your post is important if you share something. So there's a couple of different ways to share. If we just, I'm just going to look down here for post. Now here's a post from the casket newspaper, which is the local newspaper here in Antigonish, and it was about the library budget. Now, if I like this, you can see my little profile picture that I like it as Denise Davies. If I share this, I can share it out, as it says here, I can share it out to my friends on my timeline. But perhaps I might want to share this on another page that I manage. So I have a choice here. When I click share, I can show it on my timeline. I could share it to a friend's timeline. I could share it in a group that I belong to, or I can share it on a page that I manage. So if I were to click on a page that I manage, I actually have a lot of pages. You probably don't have as many choices as I have here. But if I go down to, let's say, Out and About Nova Scotia, which is a page that I manage, you can see that it's showing that when I click share, it's going to be shared as Out and About Nova Scotia, not as Denise Davies. So I could say something here, important information about Nova Scotia libraries. And when I share this link, this will be posted on my Out and About Nova Scotia page. If we go to, if I have, I'm going to open a blog that I have called Out and About Nova Scotia. And if I want to take a particular item here, if I call up this item, and if I want to share this article that I find, it might be an article that I've written, it might be an article that I've seen somewhere else, somebody else's website, information that I want to share, I could copy this URL, go back over to my Facebook page, and right at the top here where it says Update Status, if I put that link there, all I had to do was to do Control-C to copy the link on that article that I wanted to share, and then in the Update Status box, put a Control-V to paste it. And I have some options here on what picture I want to include. So I say, okay, this is a nice picture. And I'll put a comment at the top. And right now, I can see that I'm going to post this, but I want to make a post first of all, and post this on my timeline. Okay, so we can see this has come up on my timeline, and now if I want to share that, I click share, and again we'll just go ahead and share that over to the Out and About Nova Scotia page, and then we'll take a look and see what happened with these. So we're posting now as Out and About Nova Scotia. I put some text and I share that link. Okay, so right now you can see where we're looking, this is my timeline. This is my own personal timeline. You can see my pictures here, my pictures over here. So if you're looking on your timeline, you would see your picture there, or your icon that you have. And you can see these two little pop-ups came up, and this is because I have notifications on from Out and About Nova Scotia. So I see that little pop-up, and if I look up at the little globe, I can see two items up here that have been posted by Out and About Nova Scotia. So there's the County Council one, and then that Out and About Nova Scotia shared my link, and then the sharing of the lobster feast. So let's just go over to that page. Okay, so here's the Out and About Nova Scotia Facebook page, and you can see here's the lobster feast. It was posted 1 minute ago, and here's the County Council. And you can see that if I am looking at this item on my page, Facebook page, you can see one person's reach. That's probably just me. If I like, comment, or share this right now, this little icon over here says I'm liking and commenting as About Nova Scotia. We'll see a method of changing that in a minute. Another method for changing who you're posting as is up here on the top right arrow that we looked at before. We click on that. It gives us options. Use Facebook as Code Productions, which is another Facebook page I have, Out and About Nova Scotia. So I could choose to become Out and About Nova Scotia, browse the web and so on, and like and share as Out and About Nova Scotia. So it's a good way for adding content to your Facebook pages by looking at other pages and sharing them to your own. Andy Wilson has just commented on status, so we'll just see. I wish we were there to enjoy. So Andy was a student, was over here in Nova Scotia. He's now back in Victoria. So he saw that status immediately that it was posted. Okay, we're going to go to the next point now. That was about sharing of posts. This is where it gets shared out to your friends and fans, and it appears on your timeline or on the timeline of the page that you own. The third item that we'll look at here is liking. So we like as a page, or you can like as yourself. That's kind of the next step beyond what I had here as an example before. So if we go back to the Out and About Nova Scotia page, and if we look at this top arrow up at the top right-hand corner, we can see use Facebook as Out and About Nova Scotia. Right now I'm using it as Denise because you can see my name here. So if I switch that to use as Out and About Nova Scotia, you can see that the icon changes up here. It's now the icon that is here on my profile picture for this Facebook page. So anything I do from now on would have that little setting next to it. So I'm not going to see the same friends that I have on my own personal page. I'm only going to see people who have liked the Out and About Nova Scotia page. The other place that you can do this is just below I'm just going to switch back and be Denise. Okay, so the other place that I can do that is if I'm back on the Out and About Nova Scotia page. And if I wanted to go down and pick this item, let's say, this is an item that I posted this morning from the Voice of Tourism, Nova Scotia, your year-round destination. Here, if I like, comment, or share, you can see that the icon is for liking and commenting as Out and About Nova Scotia. If I click the little arrow next to that, I can change that to liking as Denise Davies. And what will happen is that it will like or share over to my own personal timeline. So if I click share here, I'll put some text at the top, and you can see it's going to go onto my own personal timeline. So I still have those other options that I have there, but I'm just going to leave it as my personal timeline. And I'm going to leave this as public, which would share it to all my friends. I have other methods for creating subgroups, but I'll leave that for another webinar. So I'll share this link. And now that has been posted to my timeline. So these are some ways that you can act on the Facebook as either the administrator of a page or as yourself. And each group would have a different set of people who have liked the page or people who have signed up to be your friend. Okay, the fourth point or fourth idea that we're going to go over now is a new little functionality that Facebook added, which is really helpful. And this is saving. So if I'm back on my home timeline again, and let's suppose I'm scrolling and I see something that I want to look at in more detail. So here's a posting about Canadian University rowing champions, and that might be interesting, but I don't really have time to look at this right now. There's a little icon, little down arrow right at the top of the post. You click that, you have some options. I don't want to see this, and this is to help you tell Facebook what you do or don't want to see. Unfollow Laurie Boucher. Hide all from the rowing club. I don't want to hear anything more from them. Report the post. This would be if there was something really bad and I wanted to report it to Facebook. But the one we want is save. So save the Canadian University rowing club. So what this is doing is it's saving this post so that I can look at it easily later. You know how hard it is to find anything on Facebook again, because you've got so many things coming in. But if we look over on your left-hand menu, you'll see your name at the top, and then your list of things here will probably be different from mine. But there should be a link there for saved. So if you click on saved, you'll see that that item is here. So I would be able to read this later or share it or act upon it at a later date. So you can see that as I find things that are particularly interesting, I add them to my save list so that I will actually be able to spend more time on them later. So that is a short one, but it's a useful thing to have in your toolbox. So that's saving a post to read it later or to work with it later. And point number 5 is about scheduling. So this is again about scheduling posts. We'll look again at the Out and About website, Facebook page. And let's suppose it's, in the middle of the night and I have a whole bunch of ideas and things that I want to share and put up on this page, but I really don't want them all to come out in one big batch. I don't want 5 things appearing one after another. It's particularly annoying to people who have notifications turned on and then they see, a whole bunch of things. So I wouldn't want 10 items, let's say, from Out and About Nova Scotia showing up on people's timelines, one after the other. So, so let's suppose I'm making a new post here, and I'm going to add a picture to it, just any picture from this, for this example. And you can see when I add a picture that it comes in here. I could add several pictures by clicking the plus sign. And I can add more text here. This is just for playing, so I'll show you this. And then down on the bottom right where it says Post, there's another little arrow. Click on that. And we can actually schedule a post for any time in the future, starting from 10 minutes into the future. We could also backdate it, if you wanted something to appear on your timeline but lower down in the past, or you could save a draft to work on it later. But I like this scheduling one, and it's being scheduled now for 10 minutes from now, but you have a little calendar here. You'd be able to pick the date. You'd be able to pick the time and so on. But I'm just going to click schedule. And I took too long doing that, so just put the schedule again. It's because part of the I'm just going to delete that post and do that again because I didn't want that to show up. I had spent too long explaining about the time. So again, the reason why I'm adding a photo is because I want you to see how when you schedule a post, you can actually use it to see what your formatting is going to look like, and if you've made any typos or if you have any changes you want to make. So I'm just going to go to schedule. So is today the 26th? Yeah, today's the 26th. I'm going to set it to 3 o'clock just so that. Okay, so now what happens is that you get this little box that comes up and it says there's one scheduled post and it says when that's scheduled. Now we can work with it. So we can click on See Post. And at this point, we'd be able to click this little arrow and edit it or reschedule it or delete it. So it's very helpful to be able to see exactly how your post is going to look once you've got it laid out. I'm actually just going to delete this post because I don't want to take the time right now to go over this, and actually I had posted this, something like this, a long time ago. So I'm going to delete that post. But that gives you options for editing and really taking care of what the content is for your the posts that you're making on your page or on your personal timelines. Just to note that this function is available on Facebook pages. It's not available on your personal profile. So it's something that you would use if you're a Facebook page administrator. That's pretty much the five key points that we wanted to do. Just let me see